Thanks for your kind attention. Genda Peldrine Blanche King is my name. A truck driver has been badly injured and material damages recorded after the truck lost control earlier this morning around Bunamusadi. It finally ended up at a building there at Bunamusadi, as our reporter Audrey Zatza tells us in the following report.
Eyewitness recount that part of the opium snack bar located in Bunamusadi, Douala, collapsed under the weight of this completely destroyed heavy machine. The incident occurred in the early hours of this Wednesday, July 21st. Other sources present say the driver of this heavy-duty truck lost control of the vehicle while trying to dodge some ordinary road users. As a result, he ended up on the wall of the snack bar's grill. The driver of the truck, seriously injured, was taken out of the vehicle by onlookers who rushed to the scene and taken to a nearby hospital. Some of those directly affected were not comfortable with media presence for unknown reasons, but we were able to capture these images. Following the incident, traffic on the affected road area was interrupted. Informed of the situation, public security officials were on the matter to investigate the cause of the incident.
The circulation of motorbikes in Bali subdivision, Mezam Division Northwest region of the country has been banned by the senior divisional officer, Simon Emil Mo. The ban will run for 3 months. This is contained in a press release signed recently. Eileen Sama reports.
Simon Emil Mo, the Senior Divisional Officer of MESAM, on July 20, 2021, in a communique prohibits the circulation of motorbikes in Bali Subdivision, MESAM Division Northwest Region of Cameroon for a 3-month period, which could be probably renewed. According to the order, Simon Emil Mo warns that anyone or group of persons who go against this order shall be punished in accordance with the provisions of the regulations in force, while calling on the DO of Bali Subdivision, security as well as law enforcement officials in the municipality to strictly implement the order. The SDO for MESAM did not state the reason for the move, believed to be orchestrated by insecurity in the area, but it comes few days after 5 police officers were murdered by a faction of separatist fighters in Balinyonga, MESAM Division. It is worth mentioning that the prohibition of the movement of motorbikes in MESAM and the other 6 divisions of the Northwest has been a major tool in fighting insecurity in the region, and Bali, just like the rest of the Northwest region, has suffered high rates of insecurity caused by the current armed conflict in the 2 Anglophone regions of Cameroon.
Existing herbs and potions acting as love enhancers for couples in Hausa culture has come to make tongues talk in Cameroon. What is very peculiar is the reactions from persons or from individuals in the country. Many think that this is diabolic and should be stopped as soon as possible. Let's get the reactions compiled by Dolingonde in the following report.
Kayan Mata is the latest social media and off-media trend now in Cameroon. The phenomenon became popular when a leaked audio excerpt of some ladies who confess to have used the charms with the name Kayan Mata went viral. Given the increase in the now most talked about societal ill, My Media Prime's Cum Leonard, in his highly educative and entertaining TV talk show Prime Hour, sought to know more from an expert on what Kayan Mata is.
Kayan Mata is from the Hausa language, which means women stuffs or women things. There are 2 words that are joined together. Kaya can be clothes, Kaya can be things, and Mata is women. So when you join it, you give women stuff, Kaya Mata.
The herbs and potions, which originally act as sex and love enhancers for couples in the Hausa culture, are now taking another advanced twist today beyond the knowledge of the founders.
If we come back to give meaning to what people really understand as Kaya Mata, we'll talk purposely on the West Beat.
While defending the positive use of Kayan Mata, Sule Buba adheres that these practices are a heritage of black culture.
West Beat is an old ancient tradition known in Africa. I believe there is none of us here who does not know or have never seen a woman put on West Beat. It's part of the black people.
Nonetheless, not everyone shares the same opinion as the expert. Apostle Valentine Ambengwa now deciphers on his conviction.
If you say women are using eyelids, they are using perfume, they are using powder, all those things are the Jezebelita spirit that is being used these last days through items. The items by themselves are not wrong. It's the enchantment and the incantations done behind those items that gives it the power needed to accomplish the purpose.
As controversial as it is already, Apostle Divine is another clerical panelist who also thinks the reason why the misuse of the Kayan Martyr is effective on victims is based on their belief systems.
My belief system will work on you if you don't have a belief system. My belief system will be superimposed on you. If a word, the Bible says that no weapon fashioned against shall prosper. Then the next part, it says, every tongue that rises against you shall condemn. Not somebody else shall condemn. So you see, words are arrows. Incantation are words. Anything, these are arrows that come. And it says, but if it rises up, you shall condemn. How do you condemn? There's something called a shield of faith.
On her part as a lady, Madame Henrietta, a relationship coach, suggests the mad rush by her fellow women for the new trend is for these reasons.
I saw something on Facebook. A young lady, what they called her, a princess or something, in Kumba. They showed her, and then they showed her course. She actually failed to one of the rules. And then she died. And that's it. The kind of audios and videos we see out there, I fear for the men.
Today, this intended love and sex enhancer is not only performing signs and wonders, but also claiming lives, as some users have been declared dead lately for not being able to obey the terms and conditions often given to them.
Reactions have continued pouring in following the confrontation between Honorable Noran Forting and a member of the security force. Members of political parties and individuals are bringing to note laws on the statutes of members of parliament, considering the Constitution and Council of Ministers promulgated into law in 2003. Away from that, the 8th graduation ceremony of the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, known by its acronyms AIMS or AIMS, took place recently. Bernardine Tamuamugu, a Cameroonian, is the overall best student. The graduation ceremony took place in the presence of the Minister of Higher Education, as our reporter Kumono Rimbum tells us.
Some 37 students drawn from 7 different African countries have completed a 1-year structural master degree program in mathematics at the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, dubbed AIMS Cameroon. The 8-batch master degree graduation ceremony took place at the AIMS Cameroon Crystal Gardens campus and was presided over by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Higher Education, Professor Gabsa Wilfred, the Canadian High Commissioner to Cameroon, His Excellency Richard Bale, the Chief Executive Officer for AIMS International, Madame Lydie Hakizimana, the Registrar of the University of Boya, Professor Dr. Enes Moloa, alongside administrative and political authorities across the region. Addressing graduates and stakeholders, the Chief Executive Officer for AIMS International, Madame Lydie Hakizimana, called on the graduating laureates to prioritize their time in everything they do in life. She enjoined graduates to use the problem-solving scientific knowledge gained from AIMS to help provide solutions to the different communities. On his part, the personal representative of the Minister of Higher Education, Professor Wilfred Gabsa, congratulated the 37 graduates and called on them to take their achievements and to be committed to take up Africa's challenges and provide solutions for societal and daily problems. He reassured the CEO of AIMS International of government's continuous support to the AIMS Cameroon program, reason why the government has allocated a 2.1 hectares of land at Ngeme Limbe for the construction of a permanent structure for AIMS Cameroon. In the days ahead, the Minister of Higher Education will be in Limbe to lay the foundation stone for construction works to commence. Professor Gabsa Wilfred intimated.
I want to believe that even though AIMS is not an engineering training institution, it's possible that the competencies they have based on their mathematical skills, to use those applied knowledge to be able to resolve the fundamental problem that this school starts offices to the government. And we're hoping, as Madame the CEO said, that these students become the movers and the drivers of the next Africa.
The graduation ceremony was marked by an academic discourse presented by the AIMS Cameroon Chief Academic and Center President, Professor Dr. Mama Fupaningni, which focused on the Enigma machine that was used by the Germans during the Second World War to code and disseminate messages such that their enemies found it difficult to interpret, intercept, and make use of it. The successful decoding of the code that the Germans used in sending messages saved millions and billions of lives that would have been destroyed by the Germans. Dr. Mama Fupanini added that AIM's drive is to train a few of Africa's brightest young talents so that they too can be able to use the knowledge of mathematics to provide solutions that can save lives in Africa, just as the British scientists who decoded the Enigma machines.
Some young Cameroonian entrepreneurs have been armed with business skills, especially in the domain of food transformation. The 3-month training was organized by Fortabe University, Cameroon. Details with Lasha Kinsley.
Born 5 years ago, the challenge to challenge the narrative that one must have much money before he or she can start up a business has been very successful. Here is Madame Fortambe Emile, the main brain behind the initiative.
So 5 years ago, I talked to a few young people who told me that it's almost impossible to start a business in this country if you do not have huge capital. You know, when they talk of huge capital, they meant millions of CFA francs. The challenge was born to challenge that idea that people must have a lot of money to start a business. So 5 years ago, I gave 10,000 francs banknote to a few young people, and I challenged them to start small businesses. They did, and they've made amazing gains from those single banknotes.
Madame Fortambe Emile, CEO and founder of Fortabe University Cameroon, highlights the successes of the initiative.
I'm sure today you have seen young people who are ready to take up the challenge. And I'm sure you've also seen young people who took up that challenge and they have succeeded to do something bigger. So we know for sure that these young women you saw today are going to do great things with just a single banknote. And what I want to tell every young person out there is never be afraid to start. Start small and grow.
Each year, students are drilled for 3 months for free with skills on how to run their own businesses, especially in the domain of food transformation, with startup capital as small as 10,000 francs CFE.
When I was doing 10,000 francs along with my teenagers to start up a job. So after carrying out massive research, we came out with an amazing idea, which was 3-in-1 ginger tea, which is we used ginger, lemon, and honey. During the process, it was very difficult because that was our first time. As a team, we decided to put in our best, and along the way we learned public speaking, since we had to go for door to door to meet customers and sell products to them. We also learned simply since we had to work as a team. And what I have to say to those who are starting up this challenge is that it's going to be tough, but there are things that I've learned that I saw, which is a symbol of skills, experience, and attitude.
Each year, Fortabe University identifies and trains high-driven young people and those who have the potentials of contributing to the growth of their startup.
Out of the country, transitional president of Mali has declared himself unharmed after an assassination attempt. Get this and more with Fonquinta.
In some striking stories on the African continent, transitional president in Mali, Colonel Assimi Goïta, has declared himself unharmed after being targeted by an assassination attempt with a knife during the Muslim prayer of Eid al-Adha at a great mosque in the capital Bamako. After the prayer at the Great Mosque, the Imam was reportedly walking towards the exit of the mosque to slaughter the sacrificial sheep before a man tried to stab Colonel Goïta. A statement from the presidency said the attacker was immediately apprehended and President Goïta driven to a military barrack outside the city. Elsewhere, police in Nigeria's northwestern state of Zamfara have said they secured the release of 100 villagers kidnapped in early June following negotiations with their abductors. Police spokesperson for Zamfara Mohammed Shehu said in a statement the release was unconditional and that it had been secured without giving any financial or material gain to the gang. He continued, the released hostages, including women and children, would undergo medical checks before being reunited with their families. North, East and Central Nigeria have in recent years fallen prey to gangs of cattle thieves and kidnappers who raid villages, killing and kidnapping residents. And Tunisia is currently facing an oxygen shortage as the country is in the midst of its worst wave of COVID-19. Hospitals and other health systems are overloaded and reports add that the main oxygen reserves are almost exhausted. Medical authorities in Tunisia have described the situation as complicated as they say an increase in admission is the main cause of oxygen shortage.
With that, we end Prime News today. Thank you very much for your attention. See you tomorrow at 6:30 for another edition of Prime News. The news was coordinated by Lasha Kingsley, produced by Ewane Eli Nolinga. My name is Blanche King. Stay tuned. At 7 p.m. you'd have Prime Hour with Kim Lunat. Happy viewing. Good night.